Hello, good evening, and warm welcome at the Thinking Palette platform. In today's Simply Explained series, I will talk about method of election to the Rajya Sabha, which is proportional representation by the means of single transferable vote system. This single transferable vote system is very complex to understand, and therefore, in order to simplify it, I will use the example of one state that how the MLA are electing the MPs of the Rajya Sabha from that particular state. But before jumping directly into the method of election, we will understand firstly the certain facts associated with the Rajya Sabha. Now, the very first thing with the respect to origin of the Rajya Sabha. The origin of the Rajya Sabha can be traced to Government of India Act 1919. For the first time, upper house has been talked in this 1919 Act. Now, Rajya Sabha is represented by MP, and these MPs are elected by MLA of the state by proportional representation and single transferable vote system. Understood? Now, what is the term of these MPs of the Rajya Sabha? Because we all know that the term of the Lok Sabha member is 5 years, but the term of the MP of the Rajya Sabha is of 6 years. Okay? And here one thing which you need to know, that 1/3 of the member of the Rajya Sabha retires after every 2 years, and therefore in every third year there is an election in the Rajya Sabha. Understood? Now we will come to the composition of the Rajya Sabha. Basically, the maximum strength of the Rajya Sabha has been fixed at 250, but today the strength of the Rajya Sabha is 245. This 238 represents elected member from union territory and state, and this 12 represents nominated member, and these nominated member are nominated by the president by the virtue of their excellence in science, art, literature, and social service. Understood? Now, coming to this. Here, 229 represents the members elected from the state, and 4 represents the members elected from union territory. And out of 4, 3 seats is being allocated to Delhi, 1 seat to the Puducherry. But now, one thing which you need to know, after the changing of a status of Jammu and Kashmir, actually, Jammu and Kashmir, when it was a state, 4 seats have been allocated to it, and these 4 will need to be minus, and now 225 members will be elected from the state, and these 4 seats of the Rajya Sabha will be added to the union territory, and now the total elected member from the union territory will be 8. It is not that today, it is because the members who have been elected in the Rajya Sabha from Jammu and Kashmir Legislative Assembly before the revocation of Article 370, they are allowed to be continue in the Rajya Sabha, understood, as a member elected from the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Now coming to how the representation is being done from state and union territory. Now the question is, who represents a state? Basically, a state is represented by the elected member of a state legislative assembly. Now you need to know that the MLC does not take part in the election of the Rajya Sabha. Who are MLC? MLC are the members of upper house, that is legislative council of the state. Understood? Now, how representation is being made? Representation of the state is being made on the basis of seats allotted to this particular state. Now, how these seats are allotted? These seats are allotted on the basis of population. Therefore, when you will look into the number of the seats allotted to you, Uttar Pradesh, it is 31. Number of seats allotted to Tripura, it is 1. It is basically because of the population of this particular state. Now, how the members in the Rajya Sabha from Union Territory will be elected. Now, for that, there is an indirect election through electoral college. Basically, here also indirect election is happening, and here also indirect election is happening, but here the word is mentioned electoral college. But now the question will come into your mind that who constitutes electoral college? Now, electoral college is constituted by elected member of Legislative Assembly of Delhi, and likewise in the Puducherry case the elected member of the Legislative Assembly of Puducherry. So basically, they are the part of the electoral college who gives vote on the basis of proportional representation and single transferable vote system in order to elect the member of the Rajya Sabha from that particular state and particular union territory. Now coming to that how the Rajya Sabha election happens. Rajya Sabha election happens through proportional representation. So, what is proportional representation? The word proportional representation simply means that the vote share or the proportion of the vote share is equal to or is in proportion to the number of the seats garnered by the particular political party. For example, if n% of the voter is supporting any political party, then that political party will win n% of the seat approximately. So basically, the number or the percentage of the vote is equal to the percentage of the seats won by that political party, and therefore it gives equal power to all the people living in the society. Now coming to single transferable vote system and how we can understand it. For that I use the example of Jharkhand. Now in Jharkhand, the total number of MLA is 81. Why I am talking about this? Because this 81 MLA will take part in the election of the Rajya Sabha. Now, number of the Rajya Sabha seat in Jharkhand is 6. Okay. So basically these 81 members will elect 6 members for the Rajya Sabha from the Jharkhand. But in any case, it cannot happen that all the seats of the Jharkhand or all the seats of the Rajya Sabha from the Jharkhand is vacant. So for example, we take an example that 3 seats are vacant at a time. Understood? Now we will move into that how single transferable vote system works. But for that we will have to find out the value of vote of MLAs. So now value of vote of one MLA is 100, it is fixed. Okay. Now the total number of MLA is 81. So basically total value of the vote is 8100. Understood? And any candidate who is going to win the election must attain the vote equal to quota. So now the question is, what is quota? Quota is basically total value of the votes of MLA, total value of the votes of MLA divided by vacant seat plus 1, and then here plus 1. So basically 8100 by vacant seat is 3, 3 plus 1 plus 1. It will come around 2026. Okay, this is the quota. This is basically the value of votes. So now, if we divide 2026 by 100, then basically what we will get? We will get that it comes around 20.2. So basically it means that if any member wants to win the election, it will have a support of at least 21 MLA, because we are rounding up the figure. 20.2 will be taken as 21, not as 20. Understood? Okay. This 21 is nothing. This 21 is basically the result of dividing the 2026 by the value of the vote of one MLA. Okay, so now it is very clear picture. The one who will get 21 votes will be elected for the Rajya Sabha. Understood? Now we have 81 MLA. 81 MLA will give the vote. Out of 81, one who has a support of 21 will be elected directly to the Rajya Sabha. It is very simple, clear. Now, for example, we are just taking the example that A has a support of 21 MLA, B has a support of 17 MLA, C has a support of 13, D has a support of 10, and E has a support of 15, and now we are taking one more, that is F has a support of 5. Understood? Now, according to the quota which we have achieved, one who have 21 votes will be get elected. So A on the match. So A will be elected directly to the Rajya Sabha, but there is a vacancy of 3 seats. Now how these 2 seats, how the member from these 2 seats will be elected? Now we will go for the second round of voting. But before that, one thing which you need to know, what happens in this case? The candidate who receives the less number of votes or the lowest number of the votes will be disqualified. Understood? So now F will be disqualified. Now the next round will happen between these 4. But one thing which you need to understand, that in second preference vote, if we will go, then this vote of 5 MLA will be distributed between these 4. लेकिन इसका ये मतलब नहीं है कि ये 5 निकाल के एक इसमें ऐड कर दें, एक इसमें, एक इसमें, एक 2 इसमें. It is not like that. Okay, it will never happen like that. So now what happens? The problem here is these 5 MLA have a first preference to F. Okay, but they will have the second preference of the votes also. Okay, for example, if I like F, then I like B, then I like C, then I like D, then I like E. It may happen. So now, out of these 5 MLA who has F as the first priority and B as a second priority, then obviously consider the fact that 4 out of 5 MLA have second preference for the B. Okay, have the second preference for the B. Then B will get 21 and he is already won. So now, for example, now 1 MLA out of these 5 have a second preference for the C. Then C will get 14 vote. Now D will have 10 and E will have 15. Now in this case, D has the lowest vote, so he will be out of the election. And now B has won. Now we will go for the third preference vote. A has won, B has won, and now the 10 votes of the D will be distributed between C and E based on the third preference. Okay. Now, for example, these 10 MLA have a second preference of the D and have a third preference for the C and E. It will happen. So, for example, 6 MLA out of 10 who have the first preference of D but the second preference as E, for example, then the total number of the vote will be 21 and he will win. And now the remaining MLA is 4. So basically C will get only 14 plus 4, that is 18. So he lost the election and ultimate winner is A, B, E. Understood? This is the method of the single transferable vote system. I hope you have understood. If you have any problem with respect to understanding of this complexity, you can ask to me in the comment. Okay, thanks a lot. In the next video I will again come with any such complex topic